everybody.
What is
we
up, my
lost Daniel and Izzo at the last minute. I don't know what happened. Daniel said he was going to go restart his computer, like with a minute left before we had to go live, and we all know that's a bad idea
on Windows.
And I don't know what happened to Izzo. He might have shot his, computer. Welcome, everybody. Everybody. Be careful. All right, the NOAA people are listening, so we have to be nice. We love NOAA. We do.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're waiting for them to come back, Joe, what's going on, man? How you been?
Man, doing good. Just hanging out and trying to survive.
Wait. One night that you don't have rain on a Tuesday?
Do not have rain. That comes tomorrow, actually. So I had to trade out Tuesday night rain showers for Wednesday level 150,000 tornado risk. 70-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, I've got a ladder propped up against my tower just to moral support.
I missed the intro, so I'm like humming a song in my head to myself.
Okay, welcome back.
Do you want us to play it again?
Sorry. Where'd everybody go? So I went to restart my computer, and now everybody's gone. Where's Izzo? What happened to him?
His computer, I don't know. He smacked his camera and he disappeared.
He got a new toy. It fell down, hit his keyboard, and he's disappeared ever since.
Oh, that new toy. Okay, yeah.
But I got a notification, so I think he's trying to log back in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Did we get notified?
Did we get notified? Ah.
Oh, there he is.
No, Brian, not that Noah. Hold on, wait. Somebody can do some rearranging on screen here. Hold on. You go there. You go there.
No, that's right. Nope, you got it right.
There we go.
Sounds good. So, how was your week, guys?
We're already past that, Daniel.
Nobody
your
asked
restart
me.
took too long.
I'm feeling neglected. I'm not feeling loved. Whatever.
So, Daniel, how was your week?
It was nothing happened. Uneventful.
So then, what's the point of asking you?
No, wait a minute. You're coming down on a guy who offered to buy us all Corvettes or expensive
Porsches. You
don't even know what they are.
Oh my God!
No, I don't know what the hell they are. I drive a truck. I drive a truck. I don't know the difference between a Porsche and a Corvette to a Lamborghini.
That's two corners, Don. That's two corners.
First of all, if you think I have the money to even buy one Porsche, yet alone 6, you don't know who I am.
You got those. You got a lot of those Canadian pesos buried back there.
I was in a parking lot and there was like a lineup of Porsches, so I took a picture and I said to the guys, I said, "What color you want?" And Izzo was like, "You can't POTA with that." So then I was like, "Okay, no car for you."
Sure you can. I POTA with a Malibu. It's doable.
Listen,
it's too late. It's too late.
It's okay. It's all right.
Listen, Steve spent some time here. Steve, remember when I jumped into the back of the bed of the truck? Can you imagine me jumping on the back of the Lamborghini or whatever the hell you call that car or the Corvette?
Oh my God!
No, there's no way.
No, that would not be good.
No, we don't do that.
Shane's
here.
Super chat.
What the hell?
Shane, get back to work. Get back to work, Shane.
Cheers, brother.
give him some extra duty since he's not here.
Yeah,
on his way in for an excused absence.
Another excused absence.
I like that.
The buy me a coffee link that hopped in just below him.
Yeah, well, the buy me a coffee link was pinned earlier.
Yeah,
a little behind there. Hi, Don.
Hey, listen, was it discussed already? I want to thank everybody for last week's show. I thought we had a great time. We had how many? Was it 13 prizes we gave away? Or I forget the total number, 14, 12?
A lot.
We had a lot. It was a lot. And I really, really hope when you get those prizes, through the raffles that we did, everybody was a good sport about everything. You see it in the chat. Everybody, wishing everybody a congratulations. There was no sour grapes, no sour, no sour mozzarella, as they say. It was all good. It was all good, and
Speaking of that,
we're gonna do again. Right, Molson?
Speaking, yes, we are. But speaking of that, Joe Brett, before we move on, do we have an unclaimed prize that we need to give notice of tonight?
I didn't take that note.
That was
I was just looking. I was just looking for that.
Yeah, you look for that.
It's K6 something.
Are we making an announcement tonight? Is that what's happening, Izzo?
I didn't get the memo, but if you would like to, go ahead.
Well, we're gonna do it anyways because I don't care.
Go for it.
So
you're the one buying the cars for everybody, so go for it. Tell everyone, hey, listen, and tonight, everyone's gonna have a chance to win a Porsche, a Corvette, or a Lamborghini. So guess what? It's your choice, your color.
Yeah, not
Hot Wheels.
happening. Yeah, Hot Wheels.
Maybe Hot
That's the best. That's
You
the
have
best you're gonna
a
get
better
from
chance.
me.
You have a better chance of maybe winning Gumby here tonight.
Listen, man, I don't even have. Did I tell you about hitting a deer with my van the other week on Sunday night?
Yeah. This past Sunday? No, you didn't discuss it.
Well, like 2 Sundays ago. Did I tell you about that? Hitting it? Oh.
You hit the deer and your buddy came and picked it up.
No. Yeah. Okay, I did. Okay, great. Okay, I told you about it. So I got one car and that's it. I don't think I'm going to buy you a car. But anyways, on to better, bigger, and brighter things. Last week we did the big giveaway. Awesome kit. As our viewers know, we have another one for April. Another one. And it's 90% the same kit, I would say. Full kit, full setup. G90 with all that exterior stuff, the cooling fan, the interface. We have the spider beam masts. We have a different antenna. We will put out a tweet with the package itself, the full details. And Joe Brett, are you going to advise people on how we're going to enter? Or are we going to do that next week?
I don't know. We didn't discuss that.
That wasn't
Joe.
discussed. It
Joe,
wasn't discussed. Since it's already out there, you may as well
It's
say
ready.
something, Daniel.
Joe, it's just us. Joe, it's just the 5 of us here right now. Don't worry about it. What's on
Put
your
me on
mind,
the
Joe?
spot.
What do you want to do? Joe, what do you want
I
to do?
don't even know.
I'm getting
What
the
do you
link,
wanna do?
okay?
You're getting a link?
April giveaway.
.com.
Which,
While we were waiting,
don't do that. Don't do
while
that.
we were waiting, Joe Brett, that T-shirt you have on looks very nice. I got to tell you.
Thank you. Yeah, I made 2 or 3 for Huntsville last year, and I spent all my money, and I ain't been able to afford, mics or the Smoking Apes. I've been buying all this other stuff. I apologize. I really should support others, but I get to it. Here's your
It's
April
okay.
giveaway
It's
link.
all right. We do. and that announcement that we had to do is taken care of. Plasma has taken care of it.
Yep.
Good.
Congrats, Ryan.
Congratulations, Ryan. All right,
Awesome.
so hold on, we got 1, 2.
So the world's okay?
As a moment, yeah.
Everything
Oh,
was
yeah.
good? Oh,
Yes.
amazing. The clubhouse has solved the world's problems.
Oh, look at that smoke signals RF on his background monitor, Joe Brett. That's so. Oh, bring it back to smoke signals.
That's random there.
Now it's Shaq
Steve,
and
what you
Greg.
Steve, what you been up to, man?
Oh my God, they got the link quick. Sorry, my watch is. I'm gonna have to take my watch off. Notifications.
So I rearranged the shack again because I actually polyurethaned and stained the desktop because it needed to be done. Last time I knocked a soda over on an unprotected desk.
Always
I-
protection.
Yeah. I have the Aries trailer in my backyard right now, tower trailer that needs some work done to it. So video coming on that.
Nice.
And tomorrow should be a nice day. If I can get out of work early, I'll get that filmed and maybe have it up by Friday.
Ooh.
Ooh, get it up.
Yeah. But other than that, just hanging out with you guys.
Hey, guys. All right. So, well, I guess
T.O., welcome.
T.O. is here, right? We got a
There's
whole bunch
T.O.
of people
There he
out
is,
here. We've got our regulars. We got a couple first timers. In fact,
Yep.
hang on. There was somebody here who said that they've been
I'll
listening
tell
to
you
the
what.
podcast.
Tell you
Four-wheeling redneck. Something about catching up on podcasts is first time here.
If seriously, guys,
Welcome.
if this is your first time, just put a 1 in the chat, just so we can say hello to you, as
So
well
that
as give you a
Izzo can say-
warning.
Yeah.
Well as give you a warning.
I was going to say, if it goes crazy, Beer Snack, play the...
Yeah, right. While it's going.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So, well, my week has been Hold on. Pause. Aaron, it's at my PO box, and I have to go pick it up. I'll be picking it up tomorrow. But yes,
what the hell? These guys are a bunch of liars. They're not first timers.
Right.
What the hell?
Hey, Rod.
Well, hold on. Wait. Have we ever had coffee and ham radios in the chat?
Yes.
Every now and then, yeah.
All separately.
All right. So this is how my week has been. All right, we're making Reese's drinks again, so we'll just leave it
full
at that.
12 minutes ago.
Hang on.
I swear that was a new bottle.
Show that again.
Show it again. This one and this one.
You show me yours, and we'll show you ours.
Wasn't that a brand new bottle?
Hershey's?
Yeah, but it was filled up to here. Okay, so you win.
Is that it? Sarah, is that
I just opened it too.
Is that something that you sip? Is that a sipping bourbon?
It's up to what you want to do. It's peanut butter whiskey.
I was gonna say, Joe, do we sip that or do we throw those back like big dog?
Guzzle them.
It just depends on your mood.
Depends on how hammered you are at Huntsville.
Hey, Izzo, Tio wants you to give him your phone number right now, live on the show.
No, the last time I did that, every TA truck stop and every mobile gas station around the United States and North America had my number. So, and then somebody said, for a good time, call. Yeah. No. Tio, I'll get a hold of you.
It's on the back of every bathroom stall in a trucker stop sign.
I mean, it's true. Listen,
between Luck, Wisconsin, and Yuma, Arizona. Yes,
you can't go wrong. We're going to have a good time, one way or another. But I'm just not going to shut the hell up, and you're just going to just drive off into the sunset. So guess what?
Even if there's 2 foot of snow on the ground when you go to POTA.
Exactly, because we're going to talk POTA, cigars, and beef jerky, and you know. And maybe some mozzarella. I don't know.
Well, that's not what we're supposed to be talking about tonight.
All right. What do you want to talk about tonight?
The weather.
Bad weather. Bad weather. What do we do when bad weather is being forecasted?
We shut off Joe's mic and just let him hang out in the chat.
Right. And every once in a while you hear ting, 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 ting. Speaking of which, Joe, we don't hear it tonight. So what's your forecast tonight right now?
You were missing when we went over that, but
okay, all right. Well, then I'll have to watch it on the team replay then.
Careful, you get timeout.
See, this is why we come back every week.
Do those 900 numbers? Do any of them still exist? Like,
the 1-900s?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I never dialed one, or I was never on the recipient of making money off them. I don't know.
Only hams.
Only hams. That's right.
All right. No, seriously, let's talk about inclement weather and what to do, not only for ourselves, our family, our friends, maybe where we work, if you're out playing POTA, soda, and other ham radio activities. What should you do, guys? Come on, let's talk. Let's get serious for a minute.
Well, you carry a 1-iron because not even God himself can hit a 1-iron.
Is that a fact? Is that in the Bible?
No. It's a golf joke, but
yeah, and evidently I don't play golf.
Yeah.
So for me, like in the shack, I'm still honestly trying to figure out all of my system as far as for that. I know that I started planning on that. I have some ideas, but I'm still working on it. My buddy bought me a book. It's the ARL grounding and bonding book. But there's so many, like the worst place, I think personally, one of the worst places to, and listen, I'm a YouTube guy, but there's so many opinions on YouTube and everybody just says, no, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And so I'm still trying to figure out, and I think the best way to do that is go for some documentation that supports, like, you know, with a little bit more information. But it definitely thinks like there's two sides to every story that's out there, you know?
Yeah, there's always.
But right now in like bad storms, like we talked about before, like ice, snow, like ice rain or like wet snow, I take down my end-fed half waves. I roll them up, put them to the bottom of the tower. And if there's a bad thunderstorm coming through in the summertime, I just disconnect my radios, the coax from the radios, and pretty much that's it. You know?
And you put it in a glass jar, right?
No.
What do you do from there? Seriously, what do? You just throw the coax where?
I leave it. I just unplug
leave it. What's the difference? So what's the difference? I'm not
honestly. So that's one of the
what's
things. So like, So that's one of the things is like there's so many different scenarios. Like because I've been doing a lot of research on it, and for those listening, do your own research. But like one of the things, if you have a ground strike that's near your place, not only are you going to have like potentially through your coax or your antenna, but you can get reversed through your grounding of your house, right? Mm-hmm. So if it's close enough it's going to do damage. Like, listen, did you guys see the video of that lightning strike that hit the gas station's concrete? Did you see that? And it just blew like this huge massive chunk. There comes a point where you can't mess with God's creation. That's what I'm going to say. Like you can do so much. So for me, I just disconnected. I want to do more, but the reality is like, what like is the return ROI? Is the return on investment really there? I don't know. I've seen many mixed reviews. I'm not saying be irresponsible, don't do something, but like
I saw what it did to my buddy's place. I don't know if he took a direct hit or what, but it looked like he got hit in one corner of the house, and his garage floor on the opposite end was cracked. And it took out most of the major systems in the house. The AC was gone, the fridge, 2 TVs, the garage door opener, and literally it put like a 4-inch wide crack down the center of his garage. I'm thinking about making a pigtail for my coax that basically is just a short. So if it hits it, it goes right back out it. I don't know if that'll do good.
Explode. It's going to explode no matter if you get a direct hit. You're just going to explode. It's going to vaporize. You see what it does to telephone poles and trees, right?
This is true.
Yeah. So it.
I need to put that disconnect in that I got sitting over here on the shelf.
Just like you got to film videos. So Brian's got a comment here. The number of ham radio opinions is equal to the number of hams in the conversation plus 1.
Actually, Brian, I think that's number of hams in the conversation squared plus 1.
Yeah. Close though.
So Don M5SKT, yeah. So Kyle had, I forget who brought it up, but the no red, you can do an automatic disconnect. I think Kyle AA0Z, he uses that in his remote station. Yep. Yeah. So listen, I'm still gonna do lightning arresters and some other things. Mm-hmm. It's just like can
we agree? Can we agree that there's no 100% foolproof protection? I think we need to go into this with an understanding and practicality.
To your entire system or to your radio?
To your entire house.
Oh yeah, house.
To your entire house. Let's. So first off, obviously, if you don't have it, have insurance, whether it's renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance. Again, there are certain steps you can take,
and there's radio insurance as well.
Right. Well, and some homeowners policy will cover all that, and that's your responsibility to check your policy, because if it says all contents within your house, and again. But I think there has to be a real understanding to this of what are we doing, because it's not only about your ham radio equipment. It's the washer and the dryer. It's the computer. It's going to be your TV. It's going to be that brand new 65-inch TV that you just bought. It's everything. So let's just take it with an understanding and from the. Again, whether you throw it on the floor, throw it out the window, throwing it out the window is still not going to give you any more protection, in my opinion, because when that voltage is coming out of that coax at that speed and temperature, it's going to continue to go where it wants to go. It wants to go back to ground. It wants to go down. We all know that. It's going to travel through roots. It's going to travel through a lot of things, and I really think it's. And I'm not saying this to be haphazardly stupid or ignorant, but I really think it's nothing more than a buckshot. Where it hits is where it hits.
Yep.
Well, and one of the things, so like when I was looking into this, like maybe a year ago, I was looking at the lightning arresters, and everything's we're in ham radio. Everything's a little bit more complicated than just buying a component. That's the reality, right? A company who markets a product, they market it so that this is all you need. And so I was reading in different industries how they do lightning protection as far as for like for instance solar farms, right? They have certain lightning protection, So I started to read more of the documentation that's like really in detailed documentation. And like, forgive me, it's been about a year, but like, there's only so far from your shack that you can have your lightning arrestor. And they say like, I think it's 20 feet is the max that you should have your lightning arrestor from your house, or from your shack, your equipment, and it has to do with through voltage.
Right, but the arrestor's not for direct hit.
It doesn't matter. What they're saying is that there's through voltage, because when that depending on what type of system you're using, by the time it trips it and it grounds to short, there's voltage that's going through and it's made it down the line. I'll try and find the documentation. If I find it, we'll put it in the description. But so there's like other industries that rely on these types of protections, right?
Yeah.
And so like some of them have a little bit more details than just like the one page technical bulletin from the manufacturer. It's more in depth. And so I was reading, and I think it's polyphaser or something. It's polyphaser, right? The one lightning protection that you can get. Is that it?
Well, polyphaser, alpha delta.
I think it's polyphaser documentation. I have that same book, so I'm going through that right now. But there's just so many there's just so much information. Like I remember watching, I think it was a Dave Castor video. He put grounding around his house every 8 feet. Somebody else did a great video, but it was different. And so like it's just, trying to figure out what's best for you and what you're willing to invest. Like I'm not willing to invest, a crap ton of money for, and I'm not saying I'm going to be irresponsible, guys. It's just there's a limitation to how concerned I am. And the worst part is I got a buddy, you guys know Mel. He worked for Motorola and all their tower, and his antenna farm, he has no lightning protection.
Motorola wrote the book. Motorola was
they wrote the book, but so he works for them. He's got his antenna farm. I think showed you guys the video or the picture.
Yeah, but his book is the Motorola is for the commercial. It's for commercial sites.
So it'd be even higher. But the guy has no lightning protection on his place.
So what?
Wow. I don't either, guys. I don't either. Listen. Not to be haphazard, again, not to be ignorant. Listen. I just feel this is just one of those topics you really can't do anything about, because I've seen where lightning has hit, in 40 years of me being around ham radio and other people's houses who have gotten hit, or that tree out in the backyard an acre away, but takes out the answering machine but leaves everything else. Why did the answering machine get it and not anything? And that family wasn't even a ham radio operator. It had nothing to do with the antenna in the air. It hit the maple tree or whatever. I'm sorry, it was the weeping willow.
I'm sure we're gonna get so much hate for not like going by the book. It's just like
I thought we were going to talk about weather apps.
Let's talk about weather apps. This is a very controversial topic in ham radio.
I hate this subject.
But hold on. But Wade has it perfect. If you experience an electrical storm that lasts more than 4 hours, contact your doctor.
He's absolutely right.
Your doctor or your electrician?
Either one. It doesn't make a difference. Somebody's got to do something about it.
Yes, Tim, I drank directly from the bottle, which is not recommended. Got to mix more.
Oh, if it's only your bottle. If it's
Shane, are you sure you want this stuff, man? Seriously.
So listen, guys, we're going to move on from lightning protection. So at this point, I'm going to put a disclaimer. Don't listen to anything we say. Do your own research and have fun.
I do want to comment on disconnecting the coax, though.
Yeah.
Because I think about that center lead, which way it's pointing, right?
Yeah.
So when I disconnect it from my radio, I push it as far away from the radio I can.
Yeah.
And point it away.
That's just all psychological. You know that. But seriously, if it gives you, listen.
Do you point it at the glass jar instead of putting it in? You just point it at the glass jar?
No, I pointed at something plastic.
Listen, so I say do whatever you do. I think the best thing to do, whether it's psychosomatic or whatever you want to do, just do whatever you feel is best for your situation, and let's just kind of like leave it at that. And am I right or wrong? I mean,
just an interesting fact or thing for Joe. I read this article on I forget what brand of lightning protectors. They did test comparisons, and the point where it connects, between the SL239 and the PL259, that little air, there's like that sliver where they meet. And so there's a lot of, it jumps across that a lot of times, like with the lightning strike when they did the tests. And so there's a certain percentage of the voltage that goes through. So like you're gonna jump the gap too, right?
Yeah.
Like if your shielding is grounded, so all my shielding is grounded, right? I'm not saying that's a protection, but it's just gonna jump to wherever it wants to.
Thank you, Shane.
Go back to work, Shane.
No, he's right. Shane is right.
We're only 27 minutes in. We got to spend a little bit of time on the elements here.
I thought we were going to talk about hip boots and weather apps and raincoats, waders, yeah, and
sandbagging.
So you must be in hurricane country.
And kissing in the rain. I mean, come on. There's a lot of things you could do in the rain.
You don't realize how out of shape you are until you do sandbags. Holy cow. Right? Dude, my buddy called me. His house was like, this was a couple years ago. And like his house was like close to the water was encroaching. And luckily he didn't have a basement. And he's like, dude, I need your help. I need you to come to my place. We're going to do sandbags. I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'm good. I had like 4 sandbags.
After like 3 or 4 sandbags, you're like, I was like, I need a cigarette.
Pretty much. I'm walking around struggling with a sandbag with a cigarette in my mouth, and I'm like, this is helping me. I know it. But dude, it's brutal. And the worst part was like when it was all over, he's like, hey man, can you come out? We put him,
kick him down.
I'm like, yeah, man, I'm really busy.
Let the kids play army with him. The amount of sandbags, and I got to be careful here because of my past profession. But the amount of sandbags that you really need to protect your home. When people run, when there's 3 hours to this, 3 hours to touchdown to this storm weather event or this flooding event, and people think that 10 sandbags is they don't understand. And they'll put them across the door. They don't understand. Water's going to get in all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
You need hundreds, if not thousands, to go around your perimeter at a certain height. Oh, it's folks. This is why you have insurance, really,
especially when they leave a gap that wide between the bags.
Steve, you and I both know it can be even less.
The sandbags expand when they absorb water.
Yeah, okay,
Thank you.
Yeah, and my ass does too in spandex. Okay, so let's just.
No, but we were going with.
There's an image I can't get out of my head now.
Exactly.
Where's that bleach? Where's that brain bleach?
We were taking, because the city was giving us sandbags, and we were taking like pickup trucks and putting full pallets in the back. And like the city manager's like, hey, I think there's a limit how many we can. He goes, oh, we got to get right around my house. So we went right around the house. It was brutal, man. It was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, never again. I unfriended him right after that, so I didn't have to do it again. No, I'm joking. I was like, I don't like you.
That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works.
We're not friends anymore. No. But other weather things. You guys in the States have crazy weather. Like tornadoes up here is like never. Maybe a couple times.
You don't have enough trailer parks.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah, but then we have we don't have enough trailer parks, but we have the trailer park boys, right? So
yeah. And gaming ham, no, I have not. If you may want to expand your what type of water barrier.
Don, I will drop some links to some of these cool inventions, all right, where when the water flows in, it actually starts to self-rise, and it actually helps keep the water contained away from your structure. There's another one where you actually fill it with water. It expands to about this high, and it's just a bag that goes all the way around the perimeter of your property.
The water dam.
Yeah, and then before I left PA, they installed they put a bank in a heavy flood zone. When that area floods, the bank has an automatic raise that comes up above the windows and everything. It's just an automatic dam that comes all the way up around the building to prevent stuff from getting in there.
Cool.
So what do you do when your drainage system is below the water table and the tide's coming in?
Put a
Isn't it supposed to be below? So
no, I'm talking it's below the water level of the harbor. So
we don't have those in Mississippi.
EMD has a checklist. They went, yep, this road's closed. Yep, this road's closed. Yep, this road closed. And they literally go down the checklist because of flooding. And that's because of a normal rain. That's not even a storm.
Yeah, because it backs right back up onto the right back onto the streets.
Yep.
So all right. So we talked about lightning. All right. We talked about the angry pixies that come from the sky, and actually they go from the ground to the sky. But we won't get into that.
and then back down again.
Sure.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Don, how far is up?
As far as you think it is.
Twice as far as halfway up. Come on, Don, get with the times. So we talked about lightning, right? Now we're talking about rainwater, water, right? So weather events, major weather events, right? So you've got.
No. Look. Is he okay?
Can you stop?
Look at Molson.
You almost stepped into that yourself.
Olson, you're right.
Snack, open mouth, and third foot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the. I told you guys I'm just trying to find the links here. I have them all on my phone. I save everything.
All we see is a white screen on your phone.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna poke you, man. I want to make sure you're still breathing.
No. I want to put some links in the live chat so that people have some. Like this is a 9-page document from Polyphaser about the coax cable lightning protectors. I have to look hard for this. I'll put it in the thing so that people can make their own. Read it and kind of come to their own thing. So, yeah, go ahead.
So, all right. So, yes, rainwater. Okay. So you got heavy rains. All right. What are you going to do in heavy rains? Sandbagging, right? Or get in your boat and just go away. But make sure you got everything up, up. But I think Shane said something about he wanted to talk Aries and Races tonight about the reason that we're talking about heavy weather stuff. We'll get there, Shane, eventually, maybe.
You know what, Shane? You don't get to suggest a topic and then call in for work and go to work and then come on the show and complain we're not talking about the topic that you wanted to talk about. That's how it works.
And he only gave us $4.99. That should have been $49.99. I mean, come on.
That's right.
So Don says this, damn it, when are we covering sandstorms? And the only thing that pops into my head is the song. So, all right, so heavy rains, right? Protect yourself from heavy rains. Protect yourself from wind.
How about quicksand? Nobody ever discusses quicksand.
Because it's not as dangerous as we thought it would be when we were kids.
When I was growing up, exactly.
When
I was a kid, that was a phobia of mine. After watching all those Tarzan movies and everything, I was so afraid that I'd be walking and all of a sudden I need a tree branch or the vines to hold on to, or somebody better throw me a rope and pull me out with their tractor. That was a phobia, man. Let me tell you something. I had an emergency plan up here in case it ever happened.
Were you also afraid of the roats?
The what?
Roads.
Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Reds.
All right, NAYO's here. He wants us to start over. What do we tell him?
No, we don't start over. So anyway, all right, yeah. So you get heavy winds, right? What's the best thing you could do in heavy winds? You go out and jump on the trampoline and hope you fly away.
Put the tower all the way up.
Put the tower all the way up.
Yeah.
And hook the parachute up to it, right? Carlos, what do you do in heavy winds?
You know what you do.
If you're on Team Replay, Carlos, I want to see it in the comments because I don't see you here. But
you get a blanket and you pretend that it's a parachute and you play Carlos.
Yeah. No, with windstorms, right? Don't you batten down the hatches, try and tie everything down, and watch your neighbor's garbage can?
Yes.
Watch your neighbor's garbage can go up the street.
Because they're not paying attention to the forecast.
Well, the growing up, my the garbage men used to be angry when they came to pick up at our place because everything was 50 pounds heavier because I dumped a 50-pound bag or 25-pound bag of concrete in the bottom of the trash can to keep it in place. I didn't have to chase
powder, right?
What?
Just the powder?
I added a little water to it.
Just leave the top open. The water will get there naturally.
No, because it wasn't raining for a few days. We had trash to throw out, so I needed to do something.
Let's talk about notifications, and I think we're at a good time here in our society in 2022 of where we are. Scout.
Thank you, Scout.
Thank you.
Thank you for getting the reference.
I think we're at a good time with technology, and it will continue to get better. But when you look at it, there's really no excuse when you have a warning when it comes to some of these weather events, because it's out there. Not only is mass media, television, but look at now what you're seeing on the internet, whether you have an Android or iPhone. I'm not going to go there, but there's a thing called the App Store, and set up your apps. Hey guys, especially if you're playing Soda and Poda, I can't stress it enough, really, because those apps have really saved me. And I don't want to see in the chat, well, what happens if I don't have cell service? Well, something. It's also your responsibility to, make a decision.
Yes.
Do we just don't go or stay home? But still, be careful when you're out there, because nothing is worse being somewhere that you're not really accustomed to.
Well, how many weather apps do you have on your phone, Don?
Just one. No, actually, well,
all right. So if you're on your phone, what's your go-to weather app on your phone?
I'm pulling it up right now.
So just for everybody watching,
Weather Live.
Okay. So
and it follows me. It follows.
Okay.
Oh, and that's the most important thing, guys. Make sure if your app, it will follow you. So wherever you go,
location.
Correct.
Daniel, what weather app do you use?
I use the Canadian. I use two. I use
Tuxicani.
No, there's an app on the Canadian government has a weather app, so it's Canada Weather. And then there's also, I use the Weather Network on my phone. And then there's this guy, he calls himself the Weather Whisperer on Facebook. And so those are the two I use.
Okay.
And so everybody, I put 4 links in there. The last one, Solacity, is about solar farms, but there's some links about different, there's a test there. There's one from Polyphaser. There's another one. It's just a guy, his experience. And then there's the solar farm. I have a whole bunch of other ones, or wind farm, but there's some links there. Read them. And there's some interesting facts about lightning and protection.
Molson, your guy, the Weather Whisperer, what's his accuracy? Is he fairly accurate?
Actually, he's probably the most accurate.
See,
because he uses he uses like both the European and the North American models, and I would say if he was in the wintertime, if he says we're going to get 25 centimeters of snow, and the other sources say 10 centimeters, I'm willing to bet it's 25 centimeters of snow. Right. I'll go to the bank with it because he's pretty darn good. But then he just renamed himself the Weather Whisperer, and I was like, that's a little doofus. So I'm not a big fan of his anymore. No, he's great. His name's Mark. He's awesome. And
So when it comes to hurricanes, for me, I just make sure I'm not in the same town as Jim Cantori, and then I'm okay.
Correct.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I don't know what he's using. I'd love to know, because it always seems to hit wherever he is.
Has he been hit in the face with anything recently, or any other weather reporters? Anybody seen anybody get hit with anything?
How many times has he been hit in the face? Is the question.
Have you? Scout 75 puts up there. All good Canadians get their weather from Frankie McDonald. Have you guys ever seen his videos?
No.
They're golden. Look him up. Amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from East Coast. He's funny. Yeah.
Joe, you being a spotter and everything, what apps do you use? No alcohol abuse. No alcohol was spilled in the
good
current moment.
I use Radar Scope.
Anything else?
Well, I've got the Storm app by the Weather Channel, but I don't like to admit that. But it gives me, the notifications that rain will be starting. Actually, it's already been raining for 15 minutes, but thank you for the notification. Yeah, My paid apps radar scope, I use it pretty heavy.
Very cool.
Ben, thank you for that throwback.
I'm just trying to find something with me, and I'm just trying to find something with me and Jim Cantori, and I'll share it with you for a minute because you guys would appreciate it.
When Izzo started talking about,
oh my god!
All right, I gotta step out.
Uh-oh.
So
what I use around me is I use What the Forecast because that's pretty accurate. But I also use Windy sometimes.
Comical.
Yes, because
I actually like
that
Windy.
in my life.
Let me tell you something. I really, yes, I apologize. I do have two, and I like Windy. Windy is a great, in my opinion. There's so many options between the web browser and the app that you can look at things. And a lot of times, especially for me on the coastline, I want to know where's that wind coming from. Is it pushing water towards me, or is it pushing it away from me? You know.
Well, I also go to weather.gov and I actually use their website for a lot of things.
Weather.gov is kind of the radar. I don't know. National
That's the National Weather Service.
Yeah, they're when they got guys, help me out. I don't understand what this Java is. Okay, but whatever
it's coffee.
Yeah, but when they stopped using the JavaScript or whatever it is stuff, their radar is horrible now, and I hate it, which has forced me and many others to find other radar sources.
I don't have a problem with their radar.
Oh, I hate it. What browser are you using?
Chrome or Chromium, anything
Yeah,
Chromium based.
yeah,
Sometimes I'll use Firefox. It depends on where I'm at. I don't have a problem with their radar. I always drink coffee when I'm watching my radar. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
reasons I'm not allowed to watch it around many people. So we've got, let's see, the Weather Channel. Yeah, naming storms because they think it's cool. Oh, winter storm. Yeah, naming winter storms. That's a joke.
That's a total joke. You know, so as much as I love my weather people, stop with naming of the. Just stop. It's ridiculous.
Can't ruin tradition, Don.
It's what? It's not tradition. It's stupid. It's all for ratings, and that's stupidity. That is stupidity.
Well, the next ravenous one's gonna be Will. So that's all I gotta say.
That's
gonna be yeah.
Will.
Okay, there you go.
Nice.
And then I have another one. I have another one at work that says, "Don't worry, folks. I'm not standing next to Don Izzo."
Oh, jeez.
But again, everybody knows if Jim Cantori comes to your county, to your town, you know what that means. You should have got out.
Evacuate.
You should have got out 3 days ago. You should have got out 3 days ago.
I don't even know if we have like storm chasers in Canada. Dave, I saw Dave Rowlinson. Do we have? I think you're Canadian. Do we have storm chasers? Like, we have very little touchdowns with tornadoes. It's like either a lot of snow, a lot of rain. What else do we have? Like, we barely have earthquakes.
That is correct, Terry.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy.
Oh, is that Don?
Look at that.
Don, is that you?
Guy. Look at that guy. He's working it, baby. Working it.
Is that an anemometer in your hand?
I'm not going to say that word.
Come on.
No, because you're going to add it to the Izzoisms. No. It's a wind.
Actually, I butchered it too. I know it's
a wind measuring device. It's a wind measuring device.
I butchered it on purpose.
I got another good one for you guys. You guys would appreciate.
So Ben Williams has a question. Do you guys think that all these radars are run by anyone but the NOAA?
What, the Dopplers?
I don't know.
Yeah, you've got. It's weird. From what I understand, you have some private-owned Doppler radars, and then you have the National Weather Service Doppler radars that we have. Yes, Mike. It looks like Izzo was checking the SWR of the clouds. And you know what? It was a perfect match, but he didn't get hit by lightning.
Yes, and Mike, this one's for you. Hang on. This one's from Mike, too. There you go. Look at that sexy guy standing in water. See?
You couldn't hold it for the bathroom, eh, Izzo? Yeah, that's gracious.
But again, every neighborhood, guys, it doesn't make a difference where this is. We all get these low-lying areas. You get inundated with water, and water goes up and water goes down, and some people choose to live where water goes up. And
Don, didn't we drive down that street?
Yes, we did. When it was dry. When it was dry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Plasma. Yes.
No, there was snow there.
Yep. Okay, Don, yes. Yes, and Plasma, yes. The TV stations have their own, and some universities have it.
And most TV stations they buy that from what I understand.
Yes, they own it.
They own it. They're contracted with a company who supplies them with that weather data. Now, I'm not saying that your on-air personality is again, they have their accreditations, and some of these on-air personalities do not have any accreditations. So,
So Ron says Canada has snow, blizzards, and flying monkeys, and supposedly the flying monkeys really mess up the radar. But in Canada, I see the biggest threat is a lack of electricity. Like in a storm outage. Like, for instance, you get a lot of snow. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt if we get 25, 30 centimeters of snow. I think there was a storm, Toronto got like 50 centimeters of snow. It's an inconvenience. It's a question of how quick they can shovel out the roads, right? Like, you're not having, if you have heat, unless you get in a bad car accident, you're pretty good, right? Like, most of our storms, it's not like hurricanes like you guys. It's not major tornadoes. There's a couple, but the biggest threat is whether, no matter what season, is the lack of electricity for heat or for pumps for like my house here. I have sump pump, and a lot of different areas is building code to have a sump pump. My water level is pretty high, so if my power is out for too long in certain seasons, it'll flood my basement. But really, besides for that, like, it's really just a question of making sure you stay warm and you have food, and that's it. But it's not like you have this, you're worried about, you're not going into underground shelters, that kind of a thing. So very different types of natural disasters that happen up here than what I've seen. And, what's that movie you guys got, Twister? Goodness gracious. Yeah. Sharknado. Yeah. And that's it. Ice storms. Jody says ice storms. Like I've told you guys before, the ice storm of 98 was a big one. But it's that's pretty much it. Electricity is the biggest issue, and so like a lot of people, like in the ice storm, a lot of people got caught with no electricity. So like generators were like no time. Generators were done. Like stores were sold out in like hours. And so that's the biggest thing you need up here in Canada is a backup heat source and electricity source, and you're pretty good. Yeah.
Aww. Molson problems. Yeah, the moose knocked over the generator again. Thanks, Ham DeLorean.
Well, I had to get the generator up and running. I had to get the generator up and running this winter. We lost power, and I was afraid my basement was going to flood. I was planning on getting a backup electrical, like battery operated sump pump, but I didn't. But I couldn't get the generator started. It was like minus 31 outside, and I couldn't get it started. And so it was just kind of like, oh, well, we'll see how long the electricity stays out for. And luckily, it came back on pretty quickly. But
all right, so Ben's comment here, I'm going to piggyback Ben's comment here off of Don's comment with regards to Don N5 SKT. We had a professor out of San Antonio that came to the club, did a presentation on radars and how bad they truly are. Because
flying monkeys,
California wildfires, they show up on radar. Flocks of birds, the monarch butterfly migration shows up on radars, right? So how accurate are these radars really, right? Even though it scans the sky like a TV scan.
Well, no, they're accurate. But hold on, from when the New York guys came in, and they were explaining us the technology, and they dumbed it down for us. Basically, at a certain height, they can't. The problem is they can't see what's actually hitting the ground.
And that's where this comment comes in.
Correct. Thank you, Ben.
And Ben Williams says, okay, well, there are reasons that the Weather Service started skywarn, and that's to get reports from the area because they can't really tell what's happening under the radar.
He's absolutely
again,
right. Somebody throw that
This
guy.
is where that term under the radar comes in, right? Yeah. Or am I wrong on that?
Well, that's one of the spots, but yes.
Yes, I think here at my area, from the local radar site, the beam height is like 5,000 to 7,000 feet in there. So that's a lot of space between there and the ground.
At 5,000, that's a mile right there.
That's your ceiling, right?
I may be a little wrong on that, but that's what I remember off the top of my head. It's up there, not down here.
Up there.
So.
But the bottom line, they can't. So this is where the skywarn, community, whether you're a civilian, whether you're a ham radio operator, or whatever, get those reports in. But please provide accurate reports based on the criteria. That's the whole key.
So, all right. So I made a comment that I have a spotter number, right? So are they not giving spotter numbers out anymore?
No.
Depends on your local office.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
The local office may come
Beer Snack, what are you? Are you Mount Holly?
Yeah. That's my weather station, yes.
Yeah. I'm up then, and they don't do that anymore. And I can't find my skywarn card. It's here somewhere. I want.
So you got a little piece of paper that you laminated with your number?
Yes, I laminated it.
Did you put the sticker on the back of your truck?
My previous truck, yes. My previous truck, I did have it.
So how does that work? Beer Snack? Like, you got your card. So what do you do? Is it a repeater? Do you call them on your cell phone, text them a message? What are you doing?
So it depends. Around here, you can call directly to if they put out the alert. You see on the alert, you read the text alert, and it'll say at the bottom, it says, "Hey, you have ooh."
Oh, look at Joe.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty.
Joe, you got Izzo DNA and vice versa. I like that.
Whoa.
Wow, we're the same kind of guy.
Whoa.
Look at this.
Next thing you know, Izzo's going to be like, who's your daddy?
So what happened? National Weather Service puts out an alert, right? They'll turn around and say spotter at the bottom of the alert. Normally, it'll say spotter, activation. Sometimes it'll say spotter activation is not required, or it'll say spotter activation. Spotters report to your local weather office. So if they say report to your weather office, you can have a net pop up on one of the repeaters or in the area. You could do a simplex net if that's down. Or if you just feel like it, you pick up the phone, call the weather service, be like, hey, this is spotter number blah, 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 and this is what's going on. And you give them a report as to what's going on. And there is actually criteria on which you're supposed to report on, which I don't have in front of me.
And a lot of I know here, and I'm sure other areas, emergency groups around the nation can understand this. So I'll speak on behalf of here in my state. These guys do a great job. They're very, very dedicated. They continually to take the training. The nets are very well run. Again, there's a groups IO page that sends out the notification ahead of time, especially when you have that advanced warning. But again, even Joe K. Public, if they're following National Weather Service on Twitter, just send them a message through Twitter, and they'll take that information. The National Weather Service wants these reports, obviously, because it's very important. And
go ahead, Don. Finish. Were you in the middle talking? You're done?
No,
he got distracted.
I got distracted by that chart that you're holding.
The chart that I'm holding up? All right, well, hold on. There's an unlisted number that I have to cover up here.
And Norman, you're absolutely right. Norman, that's great, Norman.
Remember when you got thunderstruck? Oh, here we go.
There you go. And riders on the storm and gimme shelter.
This is something that was actually provided to us by Mount Holly, or by the trainer that did us. That did us.
What?
Whoa, the trainer that trained us from Mount Holly. So tornadoes, flooding, winter weather, thunderstorms. Basically, these are reportable incidents. Is what it is. And any injuries that are weather related.
Right.
But there was also somebody turned around and said, if you're looking at the trees, if they're bent, if they're starting to bend, you've got at least 15-mile-an-hour winds. And if they're really bending, you've got about 45 to 50 mile an hour winds. And if they're on their side, then you got to call in and report it.
Right. Hail. I know for hail, they classify it as money. Is it dime size hail, quarter size hail, softball size?
Golf ball?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You're having golf ball or softball hail. Let me tell you something. You got some serious weather.
Well, I'm not going to stand outside in that.
No, and that's the other thing too, guys. We have to say this: if you're going to be dedicating yourself to Skywarn, just do it safely, please. That's so important for everybody.
There's this. I forget what the gentleman's name. He's talking about CanWarn, and I know that's our version of that. But there's also something in Ontario where I live. It's called the ProComNet. I think it's Thursday and Sunday evenings at like 8:00, and it's just a net to like practice, which all nets are, but like it just specifically for in case of emergencies like that. And they link all the repeaters, like not all of them, but they link repeater sites all across Ontario, and then you just check in and give pretty much no traffic to report, but if there was, you share it. And
back in the 90s, Mo, it's interesting you said that, because back in the 90s here, there was a debate amongst us Ham Radio, to link repeaters or not to link repeaters. And one of the things that we were advocating is saying, if they're not going to be full-time links, at least let them be part-time links, manually, link and engage, so we can share information across the county. And again, guys, I know Connecticut, the size of Connecticut is possibly a county, in some of y'all states and everything, but still, it's information regardless still has to be shared one way or the other.
And it's also limited, right? Like, so for instance, like, let's be honest, certain types of events, that's not even going to work, right?
Right, correct.
Like even the idea of, I watched yesterday, I think it was Ham Radio DX yesterday. He had a video on that repeater site. He was talking. Do you guys see that video he put up? It's like this really cool concrete tower.
The concrete
if
tower.
You guys haven't seen it, check out Ham Radio DX.
Check
he
that
looks
out.
at it. And so they're right off the coast in Tasmania, and obviously ice build up, certain storms. It's done. Like even here, like my antenna on my roof, if we have an ice storm, that's bad enough. It's gone, right? So there's a window which some of these things can handle, like as far as for a certain type of natural disaster where you can link them, but that tower site loses electricity without a battery, and if the battery backup only lasts for so long, it's on to the next solution, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what happened. Like I told you guys about with the hospital during the ice storm in '98. And it was just time to be ingenuitive and figure it out. So, and make contacts that way. So there's going to be, in a real natural disaster, I think there's obviously the prepared for stuff, and then there's also kind of like really what POTA helps out with, in my opinion, and those types of things is being portable, right? Like, because like if you end up in a case where it's a bad enough storm, you're not going to be able to hook up that tower that's 40 feet in the air and the ice storm took it down, right?
So I do want to follow
54, 1 hour in, Daniel actually promotes POTA.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with POTA.
Hey guys, on a serious note, I just like to comment. Brother Don SKT makes a good point about the linking of repeaters of what National Weather Service wants. Again, as ham radio operators, we are working with a served agency, so it takes good open-mindedness and have good leaders on both sides of the table working together all the time, and determining what the needs are, what we can do, what we can provide, what we can't do, also with some flexibility. And just because we did it one way for one event doesn't mean we're going to have to do it away. Yes, if something works, you want to continue it, but there always has to be that open-mindedness, as well as the bottom line. It's what the served agency wants. This is not about us. This is about the served agency. That we are, we are not employees of National Weather Service, of your fire department, of your emergency management, your hospitals. We are volunteers working as a partnership. And always, and listen, we all know too, when different management comes in, different management rules or guidelines are going to change and everything. But if you have, I truly believe if you got a good, strong partnership and it continues to work, keep it going. keep it going.
But will that partnership be there? So let's say there's a big disaster that happens. Like, for instance, I always go back, the last big one was the ice storm of 98. It was hams who were on site, and then they would try and give it to the authorities, from what I understand, in person. Like, it wasn't like some guy was at the weather or at the police station or the ambulance sitting there with a ham radio to his ear, right? Like, from what I understand, they allowed the amateur radio world to come on board and be there, and then they would literally write it down, pass it over to them. And from what I understand, with my buddy Ray said that they would check in every once in a while. Do you have any new information? Here you go. And it was like two systems that worked together, from what I understand, except for separate. Because like, if you can't do that direct hard line to them, they're not going to go out to the store and buy a Balfang or something like that, right? Like,
yeah,
right.
I don't know how.
Well, Daniel,
isn't that where Aries comes in?
Point.
That is where Aries comes in. I was just about to say
Skywarn,
that's where
Skywarn, and again, depending on your ARRL section, sometimes Skywarn flies under Aries, NTS flies under it, or there's two separate entities working together in the emergency community, in the auxiliary comm world. But to your point, Daniel, I think the most important thing to do is to get out there, guys, and get involved on the blue sky days. We've all heard this terminology, but I'm very serious with it, because I'm a guy who believes in training. I'm a guy who believes that you should be doing 80 to 90% of all your training all the time for maybe 5 to 10% of what you're actually going to have to do when you're able to participate. And that means doing those bike races and doing those walkathons. Those are really subliminally training you for a more of a real life event, to what Molson just said. And now you're just going to expand it off many, many layers, while having some open-mindedness and some flexibility. But the simulated emergency tests, I've been very blessed to be part of, not only here in Connecticut, but in other states, of participating, evaluating various simulated emergency tests. And some of them have been absolutely fantastic, and others are just so damn boring it'll make you sleep. But again, good leadership will get creative with these, make them fun, with the understanding, hey man, if we got to get together, these things are going to build the camaraderie. Let's just try everything. Let's just try everything. Get off the repeaters and try everything on 2-meter simplex. Or for that long distance, maybe we should be trying 2-meter sideband, or maybe 6 meters. Hey, or let's not always sit on 80 meters. I keep that just drives me crazy, because sometimes the 80-meter band is just not going to cooperate.
So Don N5SKT says races never is it races or races? Races never engages unless the authorities request it. Races trains every week of the month and is much more strict than Aries.
He is absolutely right. Different parts of the country still to this day in 2022 still run very strict races. And he is absolutely correct, and I commend those, because I come from that era when it was just races, and I believe it was the first or second Monday of every month was your Aries nets, and they were very, very strict, but it gave you structure. It gave you structure, and
I like the last time I was asked I think the last time they did a simulated test here locally, they were doing a WinLink, WinLink test.
WinLink, yeah.
And I'd be curious. I should have asked for more information. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I know I'm the bad ham. I was like, do I want to go do the simulation? Of course, when crap hits the fan, you're like, hello, I got my battle thing here, I'm helping out. But like, I don't know. Somebody called me lazy. Yes, I'm lazy, but I don't know. Well, I think I'd be interested to look at it. It's just that there's like certain things that pique certain people's interests, and I don't know.
Get into being net control.
Net control, yeah, that's not a problem. I've done plenty of net control.
Listen, you could be the guy that shows up when they request. You could be the guy with like 18 rigs on your chest harness, and then you've got a man pack on your back, and you've got a freaking 17-foot MFJ on the man pack. Like, I'm ready to go.
Right. But wouldn't that be like the guy who shows up with like the scuba gear and then he's drowning and you have to save him? Right.
You now become a liability, right? You become now a liability.
He shows up with all the top gear. He's like, I'm ready to go, boys. And he's like, help me.
I can't see
Guys,
him.
if anybody out there wants an idea of a challenge, an SCT challenge, just listen for a minute. Everybody out there in YouTube world who's listening to us, make a easy.
What?
There, Zach. No, this is serious. I'm being serious now. You ready? I'm going to show you how smart this is. You go to you work it out that simulated emergency test. You go to somewhere that's maybe 50 miles away from me, and you work it out, and you handle the emergency in their area with very limited information.
Because it's unfamiliar to you.
You want to know why that's the best thing? Because if that darn emergency happens in your immediate locale, do you really think you're going to be playing Ares and Skywarn and everything else? The answer is no. You're out. You're sitting this one out. Get the next one. But other hams are going to be coming in. And I truly think that is the best challenge that any Ares team can do, is to have great partnerships within the counties, cross county, maybe 3 counties away, and practice that and learn about the repeaters in that area, learn about the threats in that area, learn about the partnerships, what you do, because that is going to bring strength in, as well as when you go into day 3 of an emergency, day 4 of an emergency, day 5, guess what? A lot of guys, they got to go back to work. That's the reality of it. You're going back to work. Now, where are the replacements going to be coming in? And hopefully this incident is going to start scaling down. But what if it's not scaling down? So longevity is the key.
But like Ben, what's his channel? Jutting Spotter Jutting Ben. Anyways, he's very active in his local emergency. I forget if you guys know his YouTube channel. Put it in the comments there. But he talks a lot about his local activities, and it just seems like there's always something going on there. Maybe it just doesn't seem like a huge thing here because we don't have that many cases where it would be needed. Is it very active where you guys? I'd be interested if the people in the chat, how active or how often is your local Ares or any of those things activated?
Oh, there's a Thursday night net here every Thursday night so for the county that I just moved just south of, where I'm still a member, but there's every Thursday night there's a net. We do a Skywarn test on Thursdays. We do and a regular just an Ares net on Thursdays, and then once a month we meet up. There's a meetup at the Red Cross building, and then the actual EOC. So
those are nets. But how often? Like it seems like spotter jutting is always activated. Boom.
Whenever the ARC has an SET for New Jersey, we're in it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
ARC, American Red Cross, SET, Simulated Emergency Test. Sorry for the acronyms, ladies and gentlemen.
Ben Williams asks, how often do I run a net per month? A couple months ago, I ran every week, but they asked me to be a net controller, and I wasn't too interested to do that.
Can I tell you guys a story?
They asked me to be net manager, sorry, not net controller, and I said no.
That's right, Handalorian. I can measure wind speed with my beard because if it's in my face and I can't see, it's too fast.
So this is about a partnership. This is a very old picture. This is going back to about 1999. Emergency.
Yeah, because it's a 1985 freaking Ford.
That was 1054. This guy here, I put in a lot of miles on that in the state of Connecticut as well as other states. Yes, they all ran on low band, but of course, this guy here made sure Ham Radio was coming out, was pumping RFI.
How often was that van a-rocking, Don?
All the time, baby. And the greatest food deliveries, the greatest damage assessments. So again, Red Cross, depending on your individual location, and I do know Red Cross and Ham Radio partnerships differ from area to area, and that's all. I'll just leave it at that. But again, I was very, very fortunate when I was a volunteer there. I ended up becoming disaster director, and I made sure that truck stayed on the road for a whole lot of reasons. And we did a lot of St. Patty's Day parades, so a lot of field days out of that. And again, it builds partnerships. It really, really does. So.
And if anybody's looking for one of those to turn into a POTA shack, I know a club that's selling one.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yes.
Or what?
Or
really?
go to Gov Deals.
Yeah, I want a potato truck. I want a potato chip truck, but they'll still do
You want a
that.
step van? You want a step van?
Yeah, I do. I want a groom and also step van.
Oh my God, I can see you rolling that.
Oh yes, you can.
So wait, here we're talking about American Red Cross. Ham DeLorean brings up about the Salvation Army.
I'll be back, boys.
All right. He's absolutely right. Salvation Army in many parts of the country are extremely. There's the Seventh-day Advocates who have
The what?
The seventh. Let me bring it up here so I get the correct pronunciation. And I'm sorry, group, if I misenunciated. No, because they're a great group because they run trailer trucks. They run trailer trucks.
Seventh-day Adventists.
Adventists. They run
The dentist.
They run 53 footers. I've been inside these things. They run 53-foot mobile kitchens that could stay there like it's nothing. It's all logistics. This is where I learned logistics. Thank you, SKT. And my whole thing was I wanted communications, but I also wanted a logistics. So I grew both of my professions, spent a lot of man hours learning this. And I got blessed by learning from a lot of different people. But when you can set up a mobile kitchen and keep it running and having pallets of food and refrigeration and freezers and your partnerships with companies to bring food in and cook it and send it out to where it has to go, man, that's no easy task. And I know Salvation Army and many other disaster groups around the country are there. It's like a well-oiled machine, and I give them a huge amount of props for that.
We had in Jersey in the county. They have it's a local. It's Signal 22. For those of you that know Mercer County, Signal 22.
Box 22.
Right?
Yeah, sure.
No, not Box 22. Signal 22 is the name of it. It's in Trenton, right? They come out to everything that is 2 or 3 alarms and higher. They have food. They have water. They mainly take care of the first responders, but they also take care of the displaced. Mm-hmm. So anybody that get a Seventh-day Advocate. Oh my God, Don, you've just started a whole thing.
Ed, what are you doing, Ed? Avocados.
Seventh-day Advocate. Hold on. The 7th day at the dentist. I don't know how much longer I can swish and spit. Thank you, Scout.
You guys who are putting up these jokes, you better make a financial donation to these groups. You better
Ed Sweeney with the 7-day avocados. That's great.
You better send them $20 towards their mission, and you tell them Izzo sent you. So.
And yeah, Salvation Army does do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So, but primarily around here, it's not it's not so much the Salvation Army. It's more done by local volunteers.
Right.
And hold on, Bean, you're late. If you are the last person, if she is the last person, no. I've already assigned latrine duty. Okay, she's on empties.
She can pick up the bottles. She can pick up the 500.
She just got a 7300.
I just got to say that's her
excuse tonight. She's been playing with the new radio, man.
Yeah, she got an early Mother's Day gift, well deserved.
7th-day Apostles. 7th-day rest. Is it? Can we go with that one?
I got a whole bunch of pictures here that I'm looking at, and I'm afraid to share them with you guys because.
Why are you afraid, Don? Are you afraid that we're gonna roast your pictures?
No,
we always do anyway.
I got tough skin.
So the races and Aries, those are always big things. But again, 9 times out of 10, they got to be requested.
Yep.
Especially around here, because just showing up is a big no.
That's a taboo
for anything.
You don't do that, man.
Well, and if the local government doesn't know about it, they don't know to request it.
That's correct.
Develop that partnership before,
right?
The fecal matter hits the rotating blades.
Right. Nothing is worse than walking and giving in the middle hours after this disaster and walking into, hey, here's my business card. This is what I do. We all know. Come on, that's so lame. Those days are over with. We all know that. If you're gonna get in the game and do it right.
Well, at our so at the EOC. And a couple of the dispatchers are actually amateur radio operators, and they actually are fully aware of the Aries and CERT teams that are in the area. So they will definitely turn around and say, hey Chief, do you want this? Do you need this? And they'll suggest stuff. And Bean was not able to play with the radio, so there's no excuse. So excuse denied.
Hold on ourselves.
Bean.
So Jody
Sheeny,
just
hold on.
shared. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Molson.
Victor Echo 5 Sierra Alpha Romeo Jody shared the CanWarn, which is I guess the Canadian version, and it's all email reporting pretty much. There's a list of what to report, and we have funnel clouds and tornadoes and water spells. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. But so it's all email now. It's interesting.
Yeah, because it's easier to sit there and go, okay, I can read what you typed. Unless it's Izzo, and then, or I copy what you said, except if it's Izzo, and then, so most of the time,
if you're listening on the podcast, I'm making funny faces.
So, but seriously, you type it out. It's a form that you could send in. You turn around and say, okay, this is the criteria. This is the form that we have. Just type it out real quick and send it in. So they already have all the information. They can actually put it through, to put it through quicker, as opposed to transposing it or having somebody copy the information to say, okay, here you go. Okay, here you go. Is that a 6 or a G?
Right. Good point. Good point.
So that seems so maybe Dave Rollins or Jody. So is it completely off of amateur radio now? Like we still do the Procom net. We still have Aries activations or tests and stuff like that. So, but is CanWarn completely removed from amateur radio?
I don't know, but Dave says that CanWarn wants you to use Twitter #OnStorm for Ontario storms.
Huh. Interesting.
What happens if I use that? No, it's down here, in the States. Will they get angry? Or will they go, sorry, we don't take that report, eh?
Is that a 6 or a G, eh?
Wow.
There you go. Wade says they still run CanWarn remotely, and it's mostly hams. At least it's not only hams.
I like the fact that as Ham Radio, again, we have options to these served agencies based upon their needs. Do you want us to pass information through, voice, WinLink? Again, I'm sure guys can create other modes of passing Morse code. Let's not forget about Morse code. I mean, there's ways of getting the message through. But once again, it's up to your served agency. What do they want? What do they need? Can we even fit the bill?
Well, Scout says in his county that Skywarn wants you to text them. So you have to text your weather report in.
How well does that work when the cell towers are down?
Apparently.
Just saying.
Oh, Norm, really? Somebody tells me he does. Something tells me he really does have them in his
Norm Miller, speaking of Seventh-day inventors, if anyone wants a copy of National Sunday Law, I still have a stock of them in the back of my Mazda. I bet you do.
What was that, Mazda B525 or Mazda
goodness.
625 hatchback?
The 626.
626 hatchback.
Yeah.
5-speed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, my God. Ed, yes, I am in Mount Holly. Oh,
my God, guys. I'm afraid to show you some of these pictures.
Why are you afraid, Don? What are you afraid of? That we're going to meme them?
Yes, we will.
You don't have to be afraid of that. Just know it will happen. So Jody says, all right, so Dan, Jody says that yes, pretty much removed from ham radio RF for final reporting, but appreciate the higher quality of ham reporting than from the general public. Woo-hoo! We have higher quality than general public. Back
Yeah,
when
that's
only
just like
hams
that's
were
just like the
participating.
general public doesn't help us. So please continue to help us.
Yes.
So no,
Seventh-day hams.
we should start a Sunday show.
I'm
No,
telling you, you guys posted. You guys better give some money to that group. You better throw some money and you tell them Izzo sent you. I'm telling you.
Did
I'm
we
telling
ever
you.
get the correct group name?
For what?
The
For
seventh.
Izzo? Yeah. I said it. They typed it in the chat a couple times. Oh no, it's okay. The Seventh-day Advocates. Could I interest you in a free copy of Watchtower? Oh man. No.
We're all going.
No.
Just saying.
Oh, thanks, Lawnmower. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. 7-day Advent calendars. You know, for those of you, instead of having Advent be 40 days, right? So it's 40 days worth of chocolates that you pull out of the paperback stuff.
Yeah.
How about 7? And just make it really big chocolates.
That'll work.
Would that work for you?
Dude, we're adults. We can have 40 big chocolates if we wanted to.
I was going to say, did you see the advent calendar I shared
Is it
today?
alcohol?
Yeah, it was.
Ah.
And I asked Abe, why
Yeah,
did
but
you think
my
him?
question, hold on. Is it 40? Well, you said ape, so is it 40 days of Miller Lights?
It was 24 days of Miller Lite, yes.
24 pack. Which times 2
All
is
right.
48.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, here we go. Well, we're in this. Okay, hold on. Where are we? Who said that? Phil. Yes, this does go south. We're in the second hour, and you know these things. And you walked away to go play radio and walked away from your computer.
Can't I go probably do some FT8 or something?
Well,
No. He's got a net on Tuesday nights that he goes and helps out with.
Oh.
So we'll excuse that one. All right. But now he's turned around and actually pointing out the fact that this goes south. Phil, how long have you been watching us and hanging out with us on Tuesday nights? Seriously, man.
It's been
Go sit in the
exactly
corner.
50. It's been 53 weeks.
Here you go.
They may have made a POTA contact last week during the live stream. I don't know.
Beans got it right. We need 40 days of radios instead of chocolates.
I'm gonna ask a
Or
serious.
even
I'm gonna
better,
ask you guys a
40
serious
parts.
question.
40 parts of a radio kit.
That'll work.
It's
And
got to
then-
be a
and-
40-part radio kit.
Right.
Okay.
So 40 parts of a radio kit. Okay, that by the time you're done assembling it, all right, you can jump on the Santa net.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you some of the things that I do as far as when you have an early warning weather event, and I'll concentrate this more on the tropical storm / hurricane. So I always make sure I have an extra tank on hand filled so we can cook with the grill. Because in my house, my generator does everything, but I have an electric stove. Not even going to try. I don't have the money for a big Generac. So, guess what? We're cooking on we're going to cook on the grill.
Coleman stove, baby.
Because you can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and everything's going to taste great. Okay, I do make sure I have extra cigars because again, it's funny, but it's not funny because if you don't have extra cigars in your humidor, you know what's going to happen? The cigar stores are closed, and if you buy them online, is UPS and FedEx going to be delivering? No, it's not going to work. So just again, there's certain. I know what. What's that?
The Postal Service will.
Could possibly, but if there's wires down and trees down, they're not going down the road. Emergency knows no holiday, my brother. So this is
Just
why
because they're not driving their trucks doesn't mean that they're out on foot. They're not out on foot.
It could be. But
Now,
again,
you want to sit here and talk about being prepared for like the big storms and stuff. I'm sitting next to. All right, I won't admit it really loud, but I'm sitting next to about 35 1-pound cans of propane that I am moving to a storage unit soon, so that it's not okay. I'm going to be moving it to an outdoor storage location at somebody else's house, so that it's not near me and won't. Yes,
Well,
we'll go with all that. We'll go with all that. Anyway,
don't want to violate a contract.
Right.
so in the rare event that I lose electricity because I have an electric stove and it just takes forever. I have propane here.
And Terry, I have shared my cigars. Let me tell you something, brother. If you live in my neighborhood, Terry, if you came up to me and you needed a cigar, guess what I'm going to give you? And not only am I going to say, do you want to smoke one with me? Because cigars are for the good times and they're for the bad times. Absolutely.
That's it.
So,
and
if
you have the go box
can of beans.
Would you mumble?
You have the go box ready?
Oh, it's sitting right in there. The go box is already there.
The 2-burner or the 4-burner?
2-burner.
Okay.
I got a 2-burner go box in there, right? But I also have a white gas 2-burner in there as well. That if I really needed to, I could go pay $5 for half a gallon of gas and fill it up there.
What do you guys stock for food? I would be curious. What do you guys stock? And then I'll share what I stock.
Lots of tuna and Campbell's. Yeah. Tuna, Campbell's, and actually ramen.
How about like Chef Boyardee products? Any of those?
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
How dare you? Nope. Don,
it's one step up from an MRE.
No.
Steve, tell
Don,
him,
that is 2 corners from your Italian card right there.
No.
Calling out Chef Boyardee. That's 2 corners right there.
Steve knows what I have down here in the basement, and the Chef Boyardee is 1 step up from the MREs.
I'll take an MRE over Chef Boyardee any day.
Oh, I will too.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, so quick Chef Boyardee story, all right? So we're out camping, and a buddy of mine just takes the top off, and he's trying to hobo style it, right? So instead of so he sets the can down near the burner, and as it's warming up, it's just warming up the bottom of the can. So it's just building up air pressure. And you just see a solid glob. It just rises out of the can.
Expanding?
But it didn't explode. It just rose out of the can. Before he went and grabbed the can, barehanded, dumbass, grabbed the can by accident and went to go dump it in his bowl so that he could, mix it around and then try and reheat it somewhere else. Yeah, that was a fun trip. Yeah.
Does anyone else do Vienna sausages? Spam? How about Spam?
I'll do Spam, but
well, all right, it's okay because of everything. Spam's was such a good hit. They finally said they're making their second batch.
How about just plain old peanut butter?
Yeah, I eat peanut butter.
Peanut butter does not have to be refrigerated.
No.
No.
Well,
I have to laugh.
That's what we're lucky up here is that winter time. I think Jody said it before. You don't need it. You can chill your beers by putting them outside. Summertime.
Don't leave them outside too long, though.
No. No.
I do have to laugh. I do have to laugh, especially with the winter storms. In the grocery store, working in the grocery store, it was always funny because when you went down the bread aisle, bread and milk were always gone. But guess what? There was always that one bread that people would not buy. It was raisin bread. And I don't know why. I'm not a fan of raisin bread, but I guess for some reasons it doesn't get classified as for emergency use. And then afterwards, we were always joking because people had enough to be making French toast for the next week for the amount of bread, milk, and eggs that they were buying. So eat healthy.
Listen.
Some people
eat good.
In the United States,
haven't had to buy toilet.
In the United States, we have every time it snows, the Northeast. Don, you know this. It's the French toast kit. Everybody runs to the store, bread, eggs, and milk. Okay, everybody runs to the store. That's it. Bread, eggs, and
he's right.
No, the French toast kit is perfect. No, don't get the French toast kit.
But you know something though. That French toast is so good, and then you add some sausage with it. You can have it. Listen, you can eat French toast for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. As far as I'm concerned, that is a damn good meal. I like that.
The Southeast does the same for hurricanes. They just add beer.
You add beer to it?
Yeah, because you need some way to wash it down.
Well, that's because you could buy it all in the same store.
Yeah, true. You can buy it at the pharmacy. You can buy it at the pharmacy. You can get a gallon of it too. I bet, right? You guys can get a gallon of beer.
Yeah.
I remember walking into a store in Kentucky like that. I'm like, what, get gallon beer? Get at the gas station?
Yeah.
This is great.
So Don brings up a point. Problem with all the foods that we just brought up, that most prepper provisions don't work for medical conditions such as diabetes.
Good point. He's absolutely right.
So, I don't know what we could do for you, Don, except add extra insulin. Ed.
What happened?
Ed just get French toast and Hershey's chocolate porter.
Terry's absolutely right. Terry's absolutely right. There's so many people I have found who want to save the refrigerator. I don't know why people want to save the refrigerator, because maybe it's just because of my background. When a storm is coming in, I'm buying less perishable and more non-perishable.
Shelf stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most emergencies only last 24 hours to 48 at most, unless in this.
Not around here. They don't. No, we are 4 to 8 days. We have the potential of being 4 to 8 days without power. And after 24 hours, your refrigerator is technically going to be no good unless it's on a generator.
Yeah.
Even if
That's
just
why
leaving the door
all
closed.
of it.
You got to eat all of it. Correct.
Just buy a damn generator.
Right. That's the best. Well, but then you got to work. Then you got to deal with the fuel. And so, you guys know my story. And you guys know my story. I got tired of buying gasoline. That's why I went with propane.
So here's the other argument. All right. So yes, Terry, no power, the milk just spoils. Don, yes, you are correct. You can't store insulin. I just realized that. So with regards to that, okay, we talk about how your refrigerator could spoil after so much. So here's the question: upright freezer or chest freezer?
I say it doesn't make a difference as long as you have alternative power to it.
Nope. You get the chest freezer and always start with what's on top.
Okay. That makes sense. That's logic.
Right?
Yeah.
Chest freezer, start with what's on top and work your way down.
I was going to say, for emergencies, yes.
Yeah.
But for normal usage, I like an upright because less stuff to get freezer burned.
Yeah. Well,
and you don't have to dig. You don't have to dig for it.
Right.
So here's my thing. I got 5 freezers full of meat. I have 2 generators. I'm only really concerned about the summertime for the freezers or the fridges. You're looking at like a 4-month period, maybe 5. So you can handle that. And then everything else is pretty, like, I don't know what else are we looking for solutions for. If I need to cook, I have my wood stove that we can cook on top, the top of it. We've done that before for a couple of days. I'm not really concerned about freezers or fridges because I have the provisions to take care of that. I have the food. Biggest thing is my sump pump.
Guys, too, let's not again, if you can, I understand some dietary issues are so please when I say this, but like Jiffy Pop popcorn, you got to have some comfort food in there. If you're going to be without power for more than 3 days, you better have some comfort food in there.
I want macaroni and cheese, dang it.
Listen, to me, Jiffy Pop is, again, for me, Jiffy Pop is great.
So Ben Williams says, I think it's potable water he's talking about. So like I'm on a well. So that's good.
Potable or potable?
Potable.
Well,
I'm on a well. So when a big storm's coming in, we fill all the bathtubs. That's the first thing we do is we fill all the bathtubs if we know a big storm's coming in. And then as well as dog, that's water for the dogs, water for the toilets. I'm on a septic system. So like I don't have to worry about the city stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I like that. Ham DeLorean says all the meat in most freezer he ran over himself. So water I'm okay with. I'm pretty much everything. It's just more of a convenience of what I bought, like my property that I have, that it helps out, But there's still things I have to take care of. The biggest thing is electricity, and the generators is sufficient. I have 2 generators. I have about 12 gas jerry cans that I fill up right before. If there's a big storm coming in or something, they all get filled up right away.
Yeah.
And the common sense, Molson. What do you do if now you got some gas in a jerry can? You know where it goes. Into the vehicle.
I rotate it out, right?
Right, rotate it out unless you're going to use I use the stuff. Back in the day, I was using stuff called Startron. Startron was a great gasoline additive that would preserve it and keep gas for over a year. But I would still rotate it out though. First in, first out.
The one thing I would like to buy, so for instance, if you look at like generator, you don't have to run that all day. I have a wood stove, so I can keep the house moderate temperatures. You have to run your freezers a couple of hours a day if you wanted to. If you're going into days of stretch, you run it just a certain amount of time a day. So maybe you run your generators, I don't know, 3 hours, for the day, get things taken care of. You don't have to, have all your lights on. I have like kerosene lanterns and stuff, although I go to the battery ones first because I don't really want to bring kerosene lanterns in my house. But the biggest thing I'm thinking about,
you afraid of Bessie kicking one over?
I
got 2 dogs. I'm getting a third, and I got 4 kids who fight all the time. I don't want to bring kerosene lanterns in my house.
Well, you should probably refill that fire extinguisher your son discharged.
Molson, I have a solution for you. A very economical, safe. You ready for this? It's called light. They're called emergency light sticks. You can get them on Amazon.
Yeah, the glow sticks. Yeah.
The glow sticks, and they're good for 12 hours. And
that's a 12-hour rave right there.
I'm being serious here. And if you put it on top of a like a hutch or somewhere, it gives off enough light. You can put one in the bathroom. You don't have to worry about the cat knocking it over. Again, coming from the fire service, the last thing the fire
tape it to the bottom of the toilet seat.
Exactly. You could do a lot of things with them. And
so Ham DeLorean, yes.
Your name point.
Ham DeLorean's asking, do you guys do any of you guys do food canning for long-term food storage? Yes, we have. Our garden last year was 5,000 square feet. I think this year it's going to 7. And so anything that we don't use right away gets canned.
Nice.
So that, like, we do a lot of canning. We really just enjoy gardening. And like I said, we're not preppers. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't like the term. You guys know that. We just have cows. We have a garden. We enjoy it. We don't want it to spoil, so we can it. And pretty much everything else falls in place. So anyway, so you can run it a couple of hours a day, keep everything kind of hunky dory fill up your water and everything like that once a day with the generators. The biggest thing I'm thinking about getting is solar power, solar panels. So you can have you can do low voltage. If you have a battery, you can run low voltage at nighttime, and you can charge your devices and play radio. So that's something I want to do. I think that would just sum it up. I'm putting a solar powered with a battery backup sump pump in, so then that's taken care of. And then the other thing I want to do is get a couple panels. Who had a video or put out a link for some solar panels that were on sale? I forget who it was.
Maria was just talking about it.
I think Ria was talking about it. There's some. I want to try and get a couple of panels and get a decent amount of watts that can come in and fire things up. So that's something I'm going to be looking at this summer.
Gordo. So Gaming Ham Gordon asks, has anyone seen them indoor barbecues with that smokeless coal? I wouldn't burn coal inside my house unless I had a way to vent it out immediately. Period. You burn anything in your house, there's always carbon monoxide comes off of it. So no.
Oh,
Jody,
then that's
Jody. Menorahs are 9 candles, not 7. If you want, I can go get an example, but they're 9 candles. I just would like for you to be sure. Okay,
8 crazy nights.
So
right, you have 8 candles you light, but you also have the one that lights all the other ones.
Okay.
I'll explain it to you later. When we get later in the year, I'll explain it to you.
So the coal barbecues, one of the things, it happens quite often up here, especially in Montreal and some areas where say this year when you can't cut off hydro or heating supply in Canada, I think till April, but then once it comes around, they can shut you down, and the next winter you're not back up. And there's been houses with kids where they try to heat it with opening up the oven, or not the oven, having a wood stove or a barbecue in the house and stuff like that. And there has been some houses as well where their heating, their furnace or something, hasn't been working, and they use a stove. And unfortunately, the people pass away. It happens at least once a year. It's pretty sad. So, yeah.
I think we have our winner to assist with latrine duty.
Yeah. Hour and 41
Radio
into
the
it.
Wild. Welcome to you've got an hour and 40 minutes to go back on. So Catch up, man. Anyway, yes, Plasma L'chaim, and I am pretty good right now. I'm not going to refill my glass. So we've got the preparedness side of everything, like being prepared for a storm. You know, you've got being prepared. You've got being ready for, pretty much ready for almost anything, except for, a Sharknado. Excuse me. You've got, checking out what your local areas or races or even CERT teams are doing, right? Get involved with that. Figure that out.
We should get get one of those guys on sometime. It's like one of those Aries coordinators or something like that sometime.
I'll talk to my guy. I'll talk to him. I'll see if he wants to hang out with us.
No disrespect. The only thing with that is Aries differs per state, per county, per region.
Mhm.
That's the only thing. Because I always say this to everybody.
A lot of it has the same basic premise. Yes.
Let's host a debate night.
Yeah.
It should.
Okay, fine. Don, you get your Aries guy. I'll get my Aries guy. Joe will be his Aries guy.
Listen. As a past emergency management director, I wish it was uniformed across the country. And the only difference would be are the threats. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. And
good night, Gordo. So all right, here you go, Izzo. All right, question. As an Aries member, okay, do you need 100, 200, 700, and 800 from ICS?
I believe they are recommending 700 and 100 with 800 and 200 being options. I believe that's
okay. ARRL, in order to take their online course, you have to have all four.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
so
do you want my opinion of the 800?
Listen, whether or not we care that ICS works or not, or what what kind of joke it came out of, or where it's at right now,
800 is something that I feel as Joe Citizen you don't need. Has anybody at our levels, including my own, where the extensive work
been a finance officer?
No, correct. I've never been in the JIC and I've never been in the JOC.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about. 700, 800,
that's the whole
100.
point.
So
that's my
the
point.
Incident command system. Okay, so you got your
ICS 100.
You got the whole breakdown.
In my opinion, ICS 100 is one of the best classes ever. And if your fire department is using it, and they should, in my opinion, for every incident from low end to high end, it works. ICS 100 and 200 are incredible, great classes. 700. Somebody said everyone has to take it so you can get grants and all this other stuff. Well, who made that rule? Doesn't make a difference. You can't fight it. 800 to me is good for federal employees who are actively involved, in my opinion, federal employees who are actively involved with disaster recovery. I think that is true. But for the average Joe and us, 800 is ridiculous. And I'll say that. And I will go to my grave saying that until they change it.
Again,
the whole point is make this stuff relevant. Make this stuff relevant
but the other
to
part,
workers.
The other problem I have with having all of it's redundant. 700, 100, and 800 basically cover the same thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's all redundant. So it just gets jammed into your head, all the same thing. You
forget it when do you not agree to 100? But 100 and 200 are great. When that unified command is running and it's running good, but when you got good leadership, 100 and 200 make that disaster work. You work the disaster. You work it through. And whether it's a 2-day event or a 2-week event, man, you're working it good.
100, 200, 700, and 800 are all free from FEMA. They're all free courses.
Yep.
So you can take them if you want. Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff from them.
Right. I personally want 300 and 400, but now you got to play the game of classrooms or Zooms or however they're
because 300 and 400 have to be in person. Right. But you have to have ICS. You need to have the ICS structure because you need to understand how they're running it.
Right. You have to get inside their head.
Would fall in there.
Right. Yeah. You have to get inside their head of understanding why some of these decisions that they're making, why they're making it.
So you're looking at that, and Don, you're a first responder. Joe, you've first responder training, so you and I both understand the way the system is. There's a bunch of first responders over here in the chat. Ham DeLorean talking about all the ICS stuff he has to take.
Yeah, but hey,
Joe,
beer snack. But do you not agree? Just because you take the class doesn't make you an expert. Because I hear too many people. I hear too many people with these broad shoulders. Oh, I just took this class, and shut up.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I have all 4 classes. Do you know what I have? I actually had to print a chart that I can write on in the event I get deployed to someplace where I can rewrite who is what in what position, and it reminds me of all the positions.
Yeah, I was watching. Interesting enough, I was watching. You remember that ship that ship with the students, 400 students? It was the Korean. You guys remember that? And it capsized.
Are we talking about?
So there's there's this ferry in South Korea, and there was like 400 students on it. This is like 2017 or something like that, and it capsized. And I was watching it. It was a report on the whole emergency response, and there's a Coast Guard there. There was local captains. There was all kinds, and even the Coast Guard units from the different areas, they didn't even communicate together. It was literally chaos.
Yeah.
If I can find it, I'll put the link in the Discord. Very sad to watch, but there's so much. There's the main guy who should have been the head guy, like the major, in command of the whole scene. He was just talking with their parliament or whatever. All the other helicopters, no communication to the boats on the ground, and like over, I think 300 students died. Like it was just, they had a window of opportunity. No one sees the leadership. No one did it properly, and all the rescuers were just like, "Yeah, nobody told us there were people inside," which is a lie. But it was just a chaos. And if you watch it, I think it's about an hour long. And it's just such a failure and all these communications and incident, response and all that is very, very important. And I'll see if I can find the video. I'll put it in the Discord, but it's especially in big situations.
Happens more than we realize.
Yeah.
Do you know that the majority of the ICS stuff was actually brought further into the front lines from 9/11?
Do you know actually where it goes even further?
Don't doubt it.
California wildfires. Started out in California with the wildfires. Right. That's what started that whole incident command system and everything. And then obviously 9/11 put it all on steroids when Homeland Security was created. But again, to those brave people fighting the wildfires here in the United States, especially on the West Coast and everything, in Midwest, it was created out of a need. And so, hats off to them.
I found the video.
So, all right. So, being asked where to go, and I put it in the general clubhouse chat in Discord. So, for those of you that are not in the Discord, the link is in the description to join the Discord, to hang out with us, to find a place where we all hang out occasionally. And we did, and Daniel just posted the video for Heartbreak of the capsized ferry. So those are all in the general clubhouse chat in the Discord link down below. So yes, if you don't have it already, you can go take it. And then also the ARRL has some training on ARRI stuff
when their website gets back up.
Oh, it's still down?
Yep.
Oh, we're not much better.
But it's about things being down. It appears that y'all broke the entry form for the giveaway, so I will have to come up with something else.
Joe,
and we'll repost it. It's okay. Joe. We have those submissions that's been submitted.
We haven't lost.
Give me the info. We'll talk afterwards. We'll get it fixed.
Leave it to Joe to try to do something easy.
No,
it went up in smoke.
Guys, what do you think? It's 10 up, so we start wrapping it up, start putting these shoelaces on. And
I was still going here.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
They disabled our form.
Yes. Because there were
I
so
went
many people
re-enabled it. and it still ain't enabled. So whatever.
Hey Joe, did you put a caption on that? Because how many bots have entered? Excuse me, human. Can you click this for me?
Please click all the tiles. Please click all the tiles in these 9 pictures.
I cannot tell you how much those picture things give me anxiety. No,
I want
no.
because you got to look for all the traffic lights or the ones with the stairs.
So, all right. So, yeah. So, speaking of ARRL, FCC, and Aries and all this fun stuff, if anybody hasn't heard yet, next month, your GMRS test is half price. But because your GMRS test is half price, you are now paying $35 to renew, upgrade, or apply for a new amateur radio license. What is it, April 19th, Steve?
April 19th, or a vanity call.
Or a vanity call.
Change your...
Now, it's $35 per application. So, if you take and you pass all 3 tests, plasma, in the same event, it's only a $35 fee. That's not per license class. So, you pass all 3 in the first test, or you pass everything else. Yes, Don, yes. It's going to cost you $35. And now, everybody's complaining it's $35 entry fee. Listen, all right, spread that $35 out over the 10 years that you get the license. It's $3.50 a year. I personally don't want to have to pay it, but such is such.
I was going to say, spend that on coffee every day.
No, I don't.
No, I do.
I'll spend that on 3 to 4 cigars, easy. So you know something? Yeah. Guess what? It's part of life.
Okay. So administrative changes are still free. So change of address is still free there. So reach out to anybody if you think you want to upgrade, if you think you're ready to upgrade, if you think you want to get a license or know anybody that wants a license, reach out. You can reach out to us in the Discord. You can reach out on Ham Radio Crash Course Discord. You can reach out in the Toads Discord. You can reach out in any of the Discords that you think we are in, and somebody will find you and say, hey, come on, take a test.
Serious
question. Don't have to be in person.
Serious. Somebody asked. Go, Steve.
If you're on the HRCC Discord, tag @VE, and we will come running.
Yes.
Good. There's an option.
And it's not just the 2 of us. There's like a lot.
There's like a dozen or more. Yeah.
Somebody pings at VE, and I can tell you how many people go, yes.
Billions and billions. Somebody asked Molson, do you have a fee for your license in Canada, Dan?
Yeah, it's essentially, if I remember correctly, it was a couple of years ago. I wrote it 2 years. It's like a fee to your local club for managing it, and the government side is free. I'd have to double check. I don't remember. I didn't spend anything with the government, so I just gave a donation to my club. The local guy did the test, and that was it. And Jody, correct me if I'm wrong. My memory, for some reason, it cost us nothing. Just the examiner, $20 fee or something like that.
All right. So for anybody who doesn't want to pay this, you can run up to you can officially export yourself and import yourself into Canada. We learned tonight that Molson has refrigerators and freezers. He's going to be expanding the farm to 7,000 feet, and you can work and you can operate at 200 watts at Molson.
I thought he said meters.
Yeah, but then what you can do is you can go back to the States, and you can be like the lying Hawaiian and just operate with your call sign there. It's all good.
Or you could do what James Linden does and just /VE, or you could just do a /W4 or whatever. What is it, K4?
Or tell you
anyway,
what, or you
so
just
Ham DeLorean wants to know how to be a VE for heck. All right. So if you go into the Ham Radio, if you go to HRCC Discord, you type in there @admin or something like that, or @VE, want to add or do something. Or if you're already an accredited VE or with an accredited VEC, all right, let the admins know, and they'll throw you in on that.
Yeah, so
right?
Jody worded it right. So it is. So the license is free for your first license. So it's free. It's a tip or whatever. Yeah, the first one's free. It's a tip. The first tip is free. No, it's a tip to your local examiner, and then that examiner for me put it back into the club. And then Dave Rollinson said that his second call sign cost him $60. But yes, your license is free for if you want one, and it's a tip. So
yeah. And that's how ours used to be. Was there was a fee to the VEC for producing the test and adminning the test, and the FCC side was free. Now there's going to be both.
Yeah.
Because it still cost us money to put on the test.
All right, that Ham DeLorean, hit us up, hit me or Steve up on Discord. We'll get you in there.
Yep.
So yeah, I think we're at the last few bits of this. We have 4 minutes left, guys. Just remember, what's what's my F word that everybody loves?
Fun.
There you go. So have fun, enjoy yourselves. That's all I got to say. You'll catch me here Tuesday. You'll catch me on Thursday. That's it. Oh man, do we really got to talk? All right. So somebody had to bring it up. That the events from Sunday night. I'm moving with my auntie and uncle in Bel Air. There, it's done. It's said. It's over. We're moving on from it.
We're not even going to discuss that topic.
Anyway,
I may have to slap him.
You'll see me
Just
here.
keep my wife's name out of your mouth.
Anyway, so just for chits and giggles, all right? You'll catch me here. You'll catch me on Thursdays on the FT8 off. I believe Ham Radio Dude is supposed to be doing it this week. I haven't received final word on that, but I do believe it is his week for it. It's a fun event. We have a blast. Setup instructions, ft8off.kd2fmw.com/setup.php. For any of you that went too fast for, I will have Shane put that in the description. Or you can even go to the FT8 off channel in Toad's Discord. Yes,
Sing it,
right?
Molson. Sing it, Molson.
So I'm not going to go ahead. Steve.
Yo.
How you ready for this upcoming week, man?
Yeah. I took a somewhat of a mental health day today. I just texted my buddy that I work with and said, "Hey, cover the queue for me. I'm done." And yeah, it was one of those days. So I should have recorded some videos today, but I didn't.
It was a mental health day. You don't have to.
Right. I will get stuff recorded this week. Hopefully have it up by the weekend. And I plan on going to a park Saturday. So
all right.
on the air.
Very cool. Don, how you doing, brother?
Doing good. I'm going to show you guys a quick picture, okay?
Uh-oh.
So those of you who know me, that I love my vehicles. However, this is the original first. This is Don Izzo's first vehicle, and there is not a radio in there. So.
Joe.
Screenshot quick before he takes it down.
I don't care. I'll give him the picture. I don't care.
It's recorded. We can play it over and over anytime.
Dude, what was
Oh,
you got to show me those pictures that were in the background. That was some funky looking stuff. Go back there.
that one there?
No, go back. Go to that screen there.
Is that a wash basin there, Don?
Okay.
All right. Which one do you want to see?
Nothing.
You want to see the
No,
one?
we're good there, Don.
Oh, look
We're
at the
good.
second picture there with the hair. Go to that one there. The second one right there.
That one there?
Oh, snap. Look at that.
Oh, look. Don got laid.
This one. Hey. That's field day. That's
go.
field day. And that's not a mullet, guys. Don't even
That's
go
all
there.
party. That's all party right there,
man.
Don.
That's not a mullet. I'm telling you.
It's not a mullet.
Business
right.
in the front, party in the back.
Very cool.
All right, but no, hey guys, we're having fun. Crazy couple days off. I lost my truck due to some preventive maintenance, but it had to get done to keep the truck rolling. So, my game plan is maybe the second week in April to get back on the air with some POTA going and just get back going and everything. But other than that, you'll see me here on Tuesday night. So, thank you everybody, and say hi to Gumby.
Yeah, apparently, you guys ordered the mine was given to me. You guys got, a Gumby that's like this big. Yeah, but this one
I offered to give you the big one. No, I offered to give you the big one.
Don,
I offered everybody. I offered
Joe.
everybody.
Yeah,
What
we
you
know
got
you
going on,
offer
brother,
everybody
man?
the big one. Stop it, Don. Okay.
You going to me, Beer Snack?
Yeah, I'm going to you, Joe.
All right. This is Joe Britt, and I'm not doing anything right now. Work's been crazy, and I've done good to hang out here on Tuesday nights while it's raining, and now it's not tonight. But Yeah, we'll do something when we do something. Other than that, we'll be here hanging out.
Hey Joe, are your t-shirts still for sale?
Yeah, I don't know the link, but they're for sale.
Tell everybody.
They're in the description.
Tell everybody where to go. He's got
in the description of the video. There's a link.
And guys, you can design it. Joe has set it up. Joe and Ape have set up their t-shirt stores where you can actually design. You can take their design and design it to what you want. And I love that.
You can add your own pictures. And
look at that. Steve's got that link in the chat real quick.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you, brother Steve.
Taking care.
There's even I actually looked at this the other day and forgot that I actually put Kyle's crypto treasure map that we had from Norm as a sticker.
I just saw that.
Nobody's bought it.
I gotta order one of those.
Yeah, Norm never come off of the good clean picture of it, so I think he wanted rights or something, royalties.
It happens.
Yeah.
All right, Daniel.
Yo, I ain't no YouTube grifter like some people accuse us of being, but hey, I got no merch. I got no videos for you. I got nothing. I got nothing to offer you, my friends, but I'm thankful you guys are here. All right. Be good.
Appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody that's come in, hang out with us, stuck with us to the end, or at least, come back for a team replay. Ham Radio in the Wild. Have a good night, man. Yes, you do have a backlog to catch up on. Norm says he's still talking with his representation, Joe. So
exactly.
All right. With that being said, hams and non-hams that are hanging out with us, everybody on the podcast, thank you for listening. Everybody that's in the chat, thank you. Everybody that's dropped some super chats tonight, thank you much. Shane, you're an ass, and we appreciate everybody here. Have a good night. Get on the air.
See you next week, guys.
Legally.
See you next week.
Good night, Sue.